friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be my newest monthly roundup review, PR roundup review style video. In case you are new to this video series from me, this is basically where I just take all of the PR that I received the month prior and I break down everything that I got sent, everything that I tried out, give you my thoughts on everything so we can just kind of have a nice overview. As always, I am never trying to be braggy with these kinds of videos. I'm very grateful to receive these products and I'm happy I got to try them out for you, but I'm not trying to be braggy. This is more so just to be informative and transparent on what I received and my thoughts on everything. Before we hop into the video itself, I did of course film this look. I film every look you see on camera. This look should already be up on my IGTV by the time this video goes up. And let me just give you my details. My plugs today are Love Kills Boutique. My earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy, and this is a Charisma brand wig. Check my FAQ in the description box if you need spelling. Oh, and my ring is from Love. I always forget to mention rings when I wear rings. It's from Love. All right, without further ado, let's just hop in now and chat about the products that I received in the month of May. Alrighty, first things first, I got sent the Rococo collection from Musee Beauty. This was their spring collection and I was really excited to see what their spring collection was gonna be, but I will say, I didn't expect this because they did say when their limited edition Le Jardin palette came out and then it sold out and it's not available anymore, they did say that if you missed out on it that their spring collection might satisfy you. This does not have anywhere close to the same vibes of that palette. I love that palette and I am vibing with this collection, but they are not the same in any way. First off, we have two new Color Wash Cream Blush Duos. I really like this formula. It's very creamy and pigmented and it blends really easily. We have the lighter of the two, Youth and Play, which has kind of just like a pinky shade and then kind of a shimmery orangey shade. And then the darker of the two is Exuberance and Soft. Exuberance is a really pretty kind of warm, dusty, rusty, orangey reddish color. It's really pretty. And then Soft is a really nice, deeper apple-y shade. Exuberance is the shimmery one. The two orangey shades are the shimmery ones. I really like both of these a lot. I definitely gravitate more towards the light one right now for spring and summer, but I have a feeling this might be my go-to cream blush duo once fall hits. Really like these. I think the formula is great. I've used their color washes in the past and I really like them, so I was excited to see this line from them extended. Moving on to the eyes, we have two different types of eye products. The first one being these liquid matte shadows. I was very intrigued by these, but I was also unsure of how I was gonna feel because I'd never personally used like a liquid matte shadow before. I've used liquid glitters and liquid shimmers before, but I've never used a liquid matte. We have the shades Amethyst, Citrine, and Jade. Amethyst is a really pretty kind of dusty purple shade. Citrine is a really cute peachy pink color, and Jade is a beautiful kind of darker, dustier mint shade. I really like these. I'm really impressed with how well these blend out and don't get patchy or skippy. You just kind of plop it on and then you can kind of use a brush to dust along the edges if you need to do any blending. They're very easy to work with. It really like astounded me. I did play with this whole collection in a first impressions video on my YouTube channel already, and I actually filmed this look with the palette, but we'll get to that in a minute. But if you want to see one of these liquid shadows in action, go check out that first impressions video because I was so blown away at how easy these were to work with. And I really like the colors. I like that they're kind of like darker, dustier versions of pastels almost. Very cute and unique. And finally, we have the actual Rococo palette. It's very cute. I do vibe with the color story. It gives me Huda Beauty Mercury retrograde vibes, which I've mentioned a couple times, but I still stand by it. We have a nice range of mattes and shimmers. We have kind of pastel-y tones, but also deeper shades to deepen things up so it's not just a pastel palette. There's a couple neutrals in here. I really enjoy Musee Beauty's matte formula. It's very easy to work with and buildable. It's not too much, which I typically do prefer a little bit more pigment in my shadows, but these build up so easily that I don't really mind it with this formula. And the shimmers are really pretty. They're not glitzy, glittery, but they are just very wet looking and shiny. I do enjoy them. My only real gripe with this palette is that it's very thick. I don't like the book style palette. I wish it was a bit slimmer. They've done slimmer palettes before and I wish they would go back to that because I do prefer the slimmer one. But yeah, like I said, I did already do a first impressions video with that palette and I did do this Instagram video using that palette. So a couple videos for inspiration for you if you want to check those out. And I do have an affiliate code with Musee Beauty. It is BEAUTBEAN in all caps. It'll save you 10%. I do make a small commission and I appreciate it if you use it, but no pressure. Moving on, I actually got sent something from Soul Body, which is Colourpop's sister brand. They sent me the Gradual Sunless Tanning Lotion in the shade Fair to Light. I was actually kind of excited when they reached out wanting to send me this because my legs stay extra pale. I'm already a really fair person, but my legs rarely see the light of day. So my legs are even pastier than the rest of me. So I was actually really excited about this for the sole purpose of just using on my legs a couple times a week just to make it match the rest of my body a little bit better. And it actually does a good job. I haven't once felt like my legs are too tan or dark or anything. I just feel like they simply match my regular paleness better than like the sheet of paper white they used to be. So this is nice. It's very glidey, slippy, easy to use. I haven't noticed it get like patchy or like dark around any of my like ankles or anything like that. I feel like this blends out really nice. I just make sure to really rub it in. I especially use this after I've shaved my legs or something so my surface is smooth. And then I just make sure to scrub my hands after so that my hands don't get it. And again, I only use this a couple times a week, literally maybe twice. So I'm not using it a ton. I'm sure if you used it a lot more, you would notice much more of a difference. And I'm not using it on any other part of my body other than my legs, but I've been satisfied with this for the purpose of what I'm using it for, if that makes sense. I will probably keep using this until further notice just to make sure my legs match, because I'm not the person that likes to hang out in a bathing suit and suntan, so my legs just stay forever pale. And I'm not a shorts person either. I'm kind of a bike shorts person now, but still not all the time, and I really don't spend much time outside. Moving on to Kaleidos, they sent over the Flower Punk collection. And I love it so much. I have already done a first impressions video with this collection. I did an Instagram video with the palette. I did a 2 looks video with the palette. And I did a lip swatch video on my Instagram, IGTV, with all of the lip colors in this collection. So lots of content with this collection out for you. You might have already heard my thoughts on this unless you are brand new to my channel, but I love this collection. First and foremost, it's one of the most exciting collections I've seen this year so far. I love Kaleidos as a brand, and this collection just blew me away. I love all the aspects of it. It makes me so happy. Let's just start off simple. This is the Blue Agave Softening Lip Mask. I've been using this pretty much every time before I do my makeup. I've been keeping it just here on my filming table, so I've just been dipping into this. I'm getting quite the dent actually. It feels pretty nice. I can't say it's my favorite lip mask I've ever used, but I don't know what my #1 favorite is, if I'm being honest with you. It's definitely nice. I do like it. I'm enjoying it. I will probably use it until it's gone, and I really like the packaging on this as well. It's very sleek and cute. Next up, we have the 2 bundles of the lip clays. There is a neutral tin and then like a grungy tin is what I like to call it. But they're very cute. The lip clay formula is new to them. It's very hydrating, soft. I'm actually wearing one of them right now. It's matte, but it's very lightweight and soft. I barely feel it on my lips. I find this formula to be really, really comfortable. I feel like the name lip clay doesn't do it justice because that sounds drying, but these are super moussey and lightweight. I personally do not have a formula in my collection quite like these, so I'm really enjoying them. I'm really excited about it. Let's talk about the first vault of liquid lip colors. This is the Flora Noir one. We have the shades Cactus Flower, Agave, Mahogany, and Dahlia. Cactus Flower is a very beautiful, bright, bright pink. It is so vibrant and just almost neon. It's very bright. Agave is such a cool, deep teal. It's delicious. It's lovely. If you're into funky colors, this will probably be the tin for you. Mahogany is a beautiful, rich, deep chocolatey brown. I love a brown lipstick. It's my favorite lipstick out of all 8 of these that they launched. It's so good. I really hope they eventually release these as singles because I think a lot of people would get down with 1 or 2 shades versus a whole tin, but I personally love the whole tins. And last we have Dahlia. It's the one I'm wearing right now. It is a bright red, but it's also not like too bright. It's kind of a little muted, but it's still vibrant. I really like the shade of red. It's one of my personal favorite types of red on me. And vault number 2, this is the Sandcastle vault. We have the shades Adobe, Dune, Terra, and Sienna. Adobe is kind of like a cool toned, almost peachy, but a little pinky color. It's very cute. Dune is more of like a neutral, slightly cool toned pinky shade, but it's still a little bit more, I don't know, it's kind of in the middle of cool tone and neutral. Terra is like a terracotta orangey type of neutral, super pretty, super grungy, love it. And Sienna is more of like a brownie toned pinky neutral. Really like all of these. I like that they all have very distinct different undertones. So if you're looking for a good neutral set of lipsticks, this is a good one. And finally, the actual Flower Punk palette. I love this. Again, I've posted so many looks with this palette. But it comes apart like this, so the mirror is separate, and then this is what it looks like. It's so beautiful. I love this color story. It's literally grungy spring dreams. It's so delicious and beautiful and exciting and everything that I needed. I love these bright, chartreusey, grungy, dusty shades. I love the dusty pinky tones. I love the pop of like minty turquoise that's in here. Everything just goes so well. This is such a unique color story and I live for it. The shimmers are so special and unique. They're so just dimensional and lovely. I could go on and on about this palette. It's one of my favorite palettes that has launched this year. I'm obsessed with it and I will not stop loving it anytime soon. Next up, I got a package from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics and I was a little confused by this one, I'm not gonna lie. Let's start with the one that I have tried and I do like. This is the Ice Queen eyeliner. I'm actually wearing it as my wings liner today. I like this in the sense that it's a white liner that doesn't crack, because I've used plenty of white liner in my day that cracks and gets all just yucky. You've probably used one too, they're horrible. This one doesn't get cracky in the slightest, but it doesn't go fully opaque white. Like I feel like it almost looks like a lavender on my lids right now, and it's cute, but if you're going for bright white, maybe don't use this on top of shadow. This would probably look brighter on just blank lids, but at the same time, if you're as pale as me, it's still not gonna stand out if it does look bright white on your lids, because I am a ghost. If you're deeper than me and you wore it with no eyeshadow, it would probably stand out and look really pretty. I find the formula to be nice and easy to work with, but it just doesn't stay bright white on top of shadow. So that's my main critique with this. And then the second thing they gave me, I made the executive decision not to open it. It's this brush set. They're a little obnoxious for my tastes personally. Maybe you like the feather brush vibe. I don't. I like my brushes to just be brushes personally, so I'm keeping this boxed up and I will give it to a friend. This is not for me, but I did just want to mention that I got it. It exists in the world. If that is your style, by all means go for it. It's just not for me. Next up, I got a package from Pop Beauty. They sent over the Supreme Sea Cream Creamy Moisturizer. I've actually been using this pretty much every morning ever since I got it about 3 weeks ago. I feel like it makes my skin feel nice. I haven't had any adverse reactions to it. My makeup applies fine on top of it. What I don't like about it is it's very thick in the sense that I really have to like rub it on my skin almost for it to like separate, because it just wants to stay like solid on my finger almost. It's very thick, so I don't like the like texture of it, but it does blend into the skin nice once I can get it to that point, and it seems to mesh fine on my skin, so it's been a fine daily moisturizer. I just don't really like how firm the texture is. It's very odd. Next up, I got a couple palettes from Essence that I wanted to talk about. I did give one of them to my friend Mackenzie already because she was in town visiting and she vibed with the color story, so I let her have it, but I did try out one of them. I don't think I did a close-up of this one before I gave it away, but I will pop a picture up if I did not. It's called the Daily Dose of Energy. It's kind of like sunset vibes, like orangey, reddy, goldy. Definitely not my kind of color story, but Mackenzie enjoyed it, so I let her have it. And then the one that I did keep and I tried out in an Instagram video is the Daily Dose of Love. It's more like mauve-y tones, little bit berry-ish. I wasn't completely sold on this palette either, but I did ask on Instagram if you wanted to see an Instagram video with it, and a decent amount of you said yes, and I decided I might as well try this out since it is super affordable. Maybe it would be a good option for some of you, and I had a good enough experience with it. I can't say it's my favorite palette I've ever used by any means, but I feel like it was fine. If you are looking to try a very affordable eyeshadow palette, this might be a good option. The shimmers are really pretty. Nothing is that crazy pigmented, but it's not bad. Nothing was patchy. It was creamier than I expected it to be. I didn't have a bad time with this palette, even though this isn't like perfect for me. I think it was fine enough, and for how affordable these palettes are, I think it could be worth looking into if you're someone who really vibes with this color story. There's two others as well, obviously the Energy one, and I think there's a Power one, which is more colorful. It could be for you. I believe those palettes are only $8, so they're pretty affordable, but at the same time, I'd probably more quickly recommend a Colourpop palette if you just spend a couple dollars more, but it's to each their own, you know what I mean? It wasn't bad, it just didn't impress me enough to really say much more about it. Next up, I actually got my first package from Huda Beauty. I was not expecting that, but Huda Beauty sent me over a couple of products. Some being from the actual makeup lines, a couple being from like the skincare line called Wishful. Let's go over the actual Huda Beauty makeup first. I got sent the Faux Filter Foundation Stick. This is in the shade Angel Food 110N. I've actually been really liking it. I'm wearing it right now. I've been wearing it the last 2 weeks off and on, and I think it's quite nice. I do 100% have to use a brush with this. A sponge does not work. It just stays a little too firm, but as long as I use a brush, it seems to blend out fine. I like that it's pretty buildable. I can do just a few stripes for lighter coverage, or if I wanted to, I could build it up. I personally don't build it up. I like a little bit more of like the lights zone with my coverage, but this seems to be fine. It kind of just looks like skin on my skin. It doesn't look too glowy or matte. It just kind of looks like skin. So I feel like this is a pretty nice solid foundation. I could see picking this up when I just want something reliable, something that's not going to be too slidey or anything like that. I have normal to dry skin, by the way, just for reference. I'm enjoying that one. I guess I should have gone in the order of the makeup products, but I did get a primer as well. This is the Water Jelly Primer. Very similar to Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I feel like I still like the Milk Makeup one just a tad more, but I couldn't tell you why. It might just be, I think the Milk Makeup one is more cooling. I think that's what I like about it. I think there's a little bit more of a cooling sensation with the Milk one. This one doesn't have as much of that, but it is still very much that hydrating feeling, and then it leaves that sticky tackiness afterwards for makeup to stick to. I think it's fine. I enjoy it, but again, it's very similar to the Milk one and one that I'm going to talk about later on in this video. So I don't know if it's a need, but if you've never tried one of these and you're interested in this one in particular, I've had a good time with it. And last, from the actual makeup line, I got sent the loose powder called Pound Cake. Very fragrant. It definitely smells like scent when I'm applying it to my face, but it dissipates pretty quickly. It doesn't linger. And I actually feel like the formula is pretty nice. I've used it as my setting powder the last couple weeks off and on. I will still love my Milk Makeup Blur one, probably the most forever. I've yet to find one that I like more. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm not really trying to find one that I like more because I love the Milk Makeup Blur one. But this one's actually pretty nice. It seems to blend really smooth on my skin. It doesn't leave any cakiness behind. If anything, if I'm having any issues where my concealer or foundation is doing something funky, this seems to smooth things out really nicely and make things look just really blurred. So this seems to be nice. I'm enjoying it. Again, it's not my favorite. I still like the Milk one better, but this one's pretty good. And then finally, from the Wishful line, I first got sent the Thirst Trap Juice. It's a serum. I've been using it most mornings the last like 2 weeks. It looks like I've made no dent in it, but I have used it most mornings the last 2 weeks. And I've been enjoying it. It feels just pretty hydrating. It leaves a little bit of a stickiness behind, similar to the primer, but not as sticky. It just kind of feels like it's really like getting into my skin. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a skincare expert. I can only tell you what makes me feel good. But I've been enjoying this. I'll keep using this most mornings. I haven't had anything bad happen, so I've been enjoying this. And this didn't smell very fragrant either. So far, it's only been the powder that was overly fragrant for me. And also the Yo Glow Enzyme Scrub. I've been keeping this in my shower and just plopping this on my face a couple times a week as an exfoliator. I just kind of plop it on, let it sit for a couple minutes while I wash my body, and then I just kind of lightly scrub it off. Feels nice. It doesn't feel too abrasive or anything like that. I've been enjoying this one as well. I'll probably just keep this one kicking around in my shower and just kind of pick it up when I feel like it. Next up, Ather Beauty sent me a package, and I was a little bummed because this does not work for me. I didn't even open it because I just knew. They sent me the Desert Sun Glow Oil. They also came out with like something moon glow oil. There's two. There's a dark one and a light one. They sent me the dark one. It's really dark. This would not in a million years work for me, so I'm just gonna keep this one in its little box, and I will give it to a friend who it will suit better than me because this one doesn't work. I wish they would have sent me the lighter one because I would have been intrigued to try it, but alas, I couldn't. So this exists. I know nothing about it. So if you have any thoughts on it, leave it in the comments down below. All right, getting towards the end here. Oh, and my camera is dying. Let's see how far we can get before I have to change the battery. Next up is the Colourpop So Very Lovely collection. I did already do a full video playing with this collection, and I think I'm gonna do an Instagram video at some point with that palette. I think in the near future it should be up on my Instagram. Hopefully, we'll see. My filming list is forever long. First things first, we got 3 new Super Shock cheeks. I love the Super Shock cheek formula. It's very creamy, and I feel like it can kind of work as a cream or a powder depending on how you use it. You can use it with a sponge or a brush or even your finger probably. I personally don't use my finger, but you know. We have the shades Chiffon, Georgette, and Voile. Chiffon is beautiful. I actually talked about this in my monthly favorites. I kind of use this as like a highlight blush hybrid. It's very translucent and just leaves a beautiful pinky shimmery glow. It's so gorgeous, and if you're deeper than me, this would probably be the prettiest pinky highlight on you. I love this one. Georgette is such a cute, bright, corally pink. It's so fun, so summery. I love this kind of a color this time of year. It's a lot of fun. I think I said fun like 500 times just now. Goodness gracious, Betty Jean. And last we have Voile. This one is like a shimmery kind of toasted color. I'm actually wearing it as my blush today. I used a light hand with this because I didn't want it to be too much, but I do love this kind of a color as well. And come fall, I'm gonna be eating this up. It's so good. I get so excited about new Super Shock cheeks, if you can't tell. We also got 4 Lippy Sticks, which is very exciting, although I have 5 million Lippy Sticks, so I didn't need to add more to my collection, but there were 4 in this collection, so let's talk about them. We have the shades Fab, Nice Things, Soft Side, and Sweet Stuff. Fab is just kind of a pretty, like, slightly warm toned neutral, kind of light medium. It's nothing too crazy. Pretty basic lip color. Nice Things is a really cute, again, more vibrant pinky coral. It's adorable. I love this kind of a color. I don't wear this kind of a color on my lips personally too often, but once in a while I get inspired to, and I usually really like it. Soft Side makes me so happy. This is a brown and I love it. Love a brown lip. I'm telling you, if you've never worn a brown lip, please do, because it's gonna look so good on you. And last we have Sweet Stuff. This is a really cool kind of magenta violet-y shade. It's hard to explain, kind of berry, kind of magenta, kind of violet. It's a nice in-between. It's very unique and cool. I don't have too many colors quite like this in my collection. It's also not a color I reach for very often, but it is unique and it is pretty. Moving on to the eyes, we have 3 new eye pencils. I also get really hyped for new eye pencils because I literally wear one in my waterline every time I do my makeup. We have Crochet, Lattice, and Macrame. Crochet is a really pretty kind of, I don't know, like a mauve-y, pinky purple shade. It's really cute, and all 3 of these are metallic, which I also really enjoy because a metallic eye pencil in your waterline just gives your eyes a very twinkly wet look. I love it. Lattice has been very used this month. I've used it a few times now. It's kind of just like a creamy off-white, almost lacy color. It's really pretty and it's a very easy go-to if you don't know what to throw in your waterline. And Macrame is kind of like a toasty, golden, honey, orangey kind of color. It's a little different. It's not just like a warm toned brown or an orange. It's a little kind of something of all of it, but it's really pretty and cute. And finally, we have the palette itself. It is a 12-pan palette, cardboard packaging, no pressed glitters, no sequin shadows. This is a very nice layout. I really actually enjoy this color story. I think it's quite lovely. It's very soft and romantic, but you could also do things that are a little more dramatic and deep. I quite enjoy the layout of the colors. I love the little pops of color in here. I think this was a nice release from Colourpop. I think it was a little unique. Wasn't just the same old stuff from them. It wasn't just another monochromatic palette. I think they did a really good job with this palette, and I think they really did a good job with this collection in general. Sometimes they do things that are a little unique for themselves, and I really enjoy seeing that because I feel like a lot of the time they default to doing like pop culture collabs or monochromatic. So it's nice to see something a little different that's just like its own collection. It's really pretty, it's curated, and it's different. So this one was a really good collection, I think personally. And if you feel like shopping their site, you can use my code 5BEAUTBEAN to save $5 on orders 25 or more. It doesn't work on every new release, but it works for the most part, and I don't make any commission off of it, so you can try it if you want and save $5. Next up, I got a package from Pixi. They sent me 3 of their On The Glow blush sticks, and I've been loving these. I think they're so beautiful, so fun. We have the shades Fleur, Juicy, and Ruby. Fleur is a really cute, just pink. It's so glowy and pink. I love these. I've used one in a Get Ready With Me for sure, but the other ones I've just kind of been wearing on my own time with other looks. But the one you've seen me apply on camera is this one in a Get Ready With Me. It's just glowy. It's a nice soft wash of color, but it's also more pigmented than like those blush serums from Colourpop that I wasn't a huge fan of. These are really creamy and blendable and easy to work with. They build nicely and they don't ever get cracky on me personally, or like cakey or anything like that. Juicy is a bright orange. This one I've only worn once because I'm not the biggest orange blush person. I usually like it to lean a little more corally, but I actually don't mind this. It's a kind of a unique shade of orange. It's very cute. I think I'm gonna play with this one some more. And finally, we have the shade Ruby. This is a bright kind of raspberry red color where it leans slightly pink. It's not just red, so it's a little more raspberry. I wore this yesterday actually, and it's lovely. It's so pretty. I had to use a little bit of a lighter hand with this because this one does get a bit more pigmented, but it is beautiful. I really enjoy this formula. If you're into glowy cream blushes, these might be for you. Moving on now to e.l.f. I got sent a watermelon themed collection from them. I guess let's go over the skincare first. This is the watermelon glitter face mask. This is actually the only thing I did not try from this collection because the idea of glitter in my skincare does not appeal to me. So you'll have to let me know if you've tried it and what your thoughts are, because as of right now, I don't even plan on opening this because glitter in skincare is not my thing. might give this one to a friend. But if it's worth it and you think it's good, let me know. Next up, I got the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This is the primer I mentioned earlier that was also similar to that Huda one and the Milk Hydro Grip. Again, a very similar vibe. I wore this as my primer today. It just leaves that kind of refreshed feeling, and then it leaves the sticky base. This one I feel like is a little bit more glowy, but less hydrating, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel that like sense of my skin being quenched, but it does leave a glow behind, and it does leave that sticky feeling. I think I like this one. It's cute, and it's also a good affordable option if you were thinking about trying the Hydro Grip from Milk, but you were not wanting to pay the price tag. This one might be a better option for you. Continuing on with makeup, this is the Jelly Pop Glow Stick. It's in the shade Melanair. I kind of hate that. It's just like a dewy stick. It doesn't have much color to it. It's just kind of like wetness, but this honestly just stays a bit sticky. It's kind of not my favorite thing. Like, I don't mind if there's a little bit of tackiness behind, but this just stays very sticky. So I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and assume this isn't my favorite thing in the world, but it exists. It wasn't horrible. It didn't make my makeup look bad. It's just a little too sticky for my liking. Next is the Jelly Pop Luscious Lip Mask. It even came with a little lip spatula. I don't love the scent of this. It's not my favorite smell. It felt good on the lips, but it also wasn't my favorite on the lips. I definitely prefer the Kaleidos one 1,000 times more than this. But this one wasn't bad. But at the same time, I would probably rather slap on one of the e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balms than this e.l.f. lip mask. I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't love. I don't hate it, but it's just not my favorite. And last, we have two glosses. We have the shades Sour Watermelon and Sparkling Pop. Sour Watermelon is mostly clear with a little bit of like this greenish hue left behind, but I feel like that doesn't really show up on the lips. And the Sparkling Pop one is also mostly clear with some sparkles in it, and it has a teeny bit of a pink tint. I don't really like these, if I'm being honest with you. The smell is very weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Let me see if I can figure it out. It almost just smells like watermelon flavoring with chemical. It doesn't smell very good. I really don't like it very much. And on the lips, it only feels okay. It doesn't feel bad, but it's not doing anything that amazing that makes me want to keep using it. And the colors are just, I don't know, they're sheer and mediocre. And I do love a sheer lip gloss, but there's just nothing special about these for me, so I probably won't pick them up again, but I tried them out. They're just not my favorite. And finally, one more package to go. I got sent the Colourpop Your Golden palette. I just filmed a video with this yesterday, and that should be up before this video goes up, so go check that out. It is a huge 30 pan palette, definitely like Colourpop Dream Street vibes from back in the day, but bigger. I'm not a large palette person, we've been over this. This isn't my personal favorite setup, this isn't my personal kind of color story. I do get down with these colors, but in a condensed version. I liked the look I created, I had no problems formula-wise. There is one pressed glitter in here, by the way, at the very top. It's just not my personal favorite kind of palette. This is not a palette I'm gonna think to reach for again. I might try to do an Instagram video with it at some point if I don't feel too, I don't know, excited by other things over this one. I could see a lot of people really enjoying and loving this palette. It's just not my perfect palette. My main reasoning is just because it's so big. So if you're into large palettes and you vibe with this color story, this might be for you. It's just personally not for me. I like smaller palettes. So yeah, that was my May PR Roundup review. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of the products I mentioned today. Have you tried any of these? Do you want to try any of these? I want to hear everything you have to say down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a reptile emoji. I don't even know how many reptile emojis there are, but leave me a reptile. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's BEAUTBEAN. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm posting most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.